Oh, hello. Hi, Sam.
I reached out to you. Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life.
Do tell.
3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible, so I began helping the others.
It'd be a difficult situation.
Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions.
Clark seems pretty good.
You're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down.
Ooh, cool. New evidence.
The
This is
records
good.
are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Thanks, Sam. Alrighty. So we've got that. Okay. This photo was given to you by Sam Madsen. A woman by the name of Regina Clementine came to her and claimed that her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Rootree. The details of this case have been found in your evidence. Stuart is the older boy wearing a vest. The woman in the photo is Mary Beth Clementine, a singer who may have had an affair with Miracle Rootree. Oh, Rootree. Miracle, you old dog. Okay. Doesn't give dates, so I'm gonna say where are you, Miracle? Miracle is a preacher. Mary Beth Clementine. Mary Beth Clementine. I'm gonna say she's a musician. That's probably the hubby there. Okay. Good golly. Okay, I'm gonna say those. Oldest name is Stuart. Stuart Clementine. Last name Clementine. Okay, cool. This is definitely something new to work on. Okay. Right now the party is fighting a dragon rider like an Aragon, and Not probably going to be conscious for much. Oh no. But it's part of the plan. Okay, this is all the informant I have. All the information I. Oh, it's going to be a long day if I'm struggling to read this. This is all the information I have about Regina Clementine nee Salazar from New Orleans and her husband, Stuart Clementine. She wrote me about a month ago. Apparently, the Roottrees lawyers went after her since then. By the time I received her letter and called her, she told me she couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband, who is a police officer and never knew his father, told her he thought he might be a Rootree. Maybe he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally, I wouldn't be so sure about, but she had some pretty credible facts. Some of it I've been able to confirm. Stuart's mother was Mary Beth Clementine. She was pretty well known in the 30s to 50s, a singer who went to tour and did a lot with churches. You can look her up online, and has a pretty big. Okay, I know for a fact that she has come to Butler County a few times. I remember her from when I was younger. And Regina said that Stuart told her that they always seem to spend a lot of time at the Miracle Church. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she is. I've attached it to the email. Okay, so Regina Clementine is Regina. And Stuart was a police officer. Okay. Alright, we'll come back to that in a sec. Actually, no, let's screw it. Let's let's have a look. Mary Beth Clementine was the singer most popular in the years between 1942 and 1959. She travelled around the country performing at churches. Her repertoire was a mix of religious and popular songs. Although she recorded a few records, they seemed to be lost with time. The only one you found mentioned was a cover of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, released under the label New Edison. One thing Mary Beth was known for was her adoptions. She listed on many sites that adoption and the history of adoption. She adopted 2 children in the 1940s, Stuart and Mark. Whoops. She also spoke as an advocate for the benefits of adoption in front of the United States Congress in 1949, who were convening to debate and discuss the then recent first adoption of an African American child to a white family in the United States. They're going to be rescued by a disavowed Khan that they were sent to. Oh, that's a bit of a twist. She was specifically there to detail her experiences going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, and according to a single line in the adoption site, under unusual circumstances. In 1959, it surfaced that Mary Beth had been twice divorced, both times to her manager Sterling. This ended her career with the religious audience she had been catering to, and while she performed occasionally since then, she mostly faded away. She died in 1994. the age of 76 of a stroke. Okay, so this gentleman's name is Sterling, though I'm not sure if Clementine is the right name. Okay, let's look up this one. New Edison was a small record label based in Los Angeles that existed for a few years in the 1940s. It raced to release cover records of songs that were getting in popularity. According to a website about the history, it was named after its founder, Sterling Edison. Its biggest claim to fame was being sued by the estate of Thomas Edison in Edison Records versus Edsel. Oops. You also find a few references to New Edison and Mary Beth Clementine on sites about old records. One collector says that the Holy Grail is a release of the Old Rugged Cross, and says the first edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. Another site claims that the police had to be called to New Edison Records after its owner, Sterling Edison, got in a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. There are no cited sources or evidence, and the site's content seems user submitted. There's an email address at the bottom and the phrase, "Send me your stories about old Hollywood," and I'll add them to the page. Okay, doesn't look really relevant, but what about this one? Edison Records was one of the first record labels named after Thomas Edison. The history of the company seems very unimportant except for the potential lawsuit they filed in 1949. A website about lawsuits mentioned this as a fun case because the name of the lawsuit was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. The record producer was also called Edison, was immediately ousted as not actually being named Edison. Edsel was a German name at the time of the founding of the company. So we'll change that to Edsel. Okay. What else? What else can we find? What if we look up okay. Alright, let's jump. Let's jump to this. You're given some partial staff records. Ooh, these records are based on old tax mailing information and only detail the employees that work directly for the Roottrees or the corporate office. You're not sure how helpful it will be, except for the cross-referencing guys' secretaries and visits overseas. Ooh. Searching people just because they are listed in this book will likely be very time consuming and a waste of your time. Okay, so President Zach Morden. Okay. Joanna Robertson.